Hey guys, welcome to Split. Today we are going to do a review of two items I unboxed a while ago, the Oraimo Smart accessories products. This one's commonly known as 2 Babas headphones, but they really called it Freepods 2. And this is the Tempo W2 Smartwatch. They both promise to give you great value, excellent quality, but I will tell you if that's true or not. Roll the intro. First up, let's talk about the smartwatch. Before we get into that, let me do a quick reminder. So Oraimo or Oraimo or whatever it is not a Yoruba or a local company that makes smart accessories. No, it's actually Chinese. It's part of the Transsion group. I'd said that in another video, but the Transsion group it's a big company in China that makes phones like Techno and itel. So I guess that just brings it home for you. So this isn't some backwater company making cheap products. This is actually a big conglomerate. So they decided to design it this way, and I guess the confusion would come from seeing Too Faced, who is the brand ambassador on most of their products, because they're just trying to localize the content so that you don't worry that this is just a random product I shouldn't pay for. But let me tell you my experience with the Tempo W2 smartwatch. Okay, yeah, let's start with the pros. Why not? Let's start with the good stuff I like. Battery life is awesome, right? It's 20 days. It says 20 days on the box. It probably did more in real life, I swear to God. So I ran the watch. I just kept running it for a whole month, and I was using the watch, kept testing the features, which leads me to the second feature. It says IP67 water resistant, but I swam with the watch for 4 hours. My kid wouldn't get out of the pool, and I forgot I had the watch on, so I was just soaked. When I came out, I thought it was dead for sure because the screen wouldn't come on, but after about an hour or so, it came back on, so that waterproofing is there. Don't take my word for it to say go throw your stuff in the water for 4 hours, but at least it did save the watch from dying, so that's another positive. In terms of design, it's modern design, it's circular, and it can work as a workout watch, or if you're going for a casual wear, that works too. They do have versions with squircle, like the Apple design, if that's what you're into, but I'm more of a circular design guy, and this works for me. Watch faces, it has a few watch faces here and there, but nothing too fantastic. But I guess we're talking about positives. And it does fitness tracking. Ish. It does fitness tracking. I say ish. The feature is there. It does work to some degree. Heart rate monitor is in there as well, especially for the price you're paying for this thing. I think that's a lot of good things. Some of the cons, the build quality. The minute you hold it, you know it's not as premium as your Samsung Galaxy or your Apple Watch, right? The plastic feels really plasticky. The screen is not as bright when compared, I think it's an LCD screen, not an AMOLED screen. The watch faces are not that many in the App Store. And speaking of the App Store, there's an app called the Joyware 2, which you have to download to run this thing. It is buggy as hell. I'm sorry, at least when I tried it and I updated it, it's still buggy. And I mean buggy, you have dropped Bluetooth connections, for example. Sometimes the messages don't come across when you when you pair them with your smart device. Sometimes it sends you the message late, even if it does come across. And a host of other weird bugs that come through, but all in all, the fundamentals do work. You can't make a call on the watch. It doesn't have a microphone or anything like that, but it does work at the basics. Again, for the price you're getting this for, I think it's a decent bargain, especially if you don't have $160 or $200 to go below on a smartwatch. You can spend that $15K, it's less than $30 on this watch, and it has a cradle charger. I gotta show you this charger for you to understand what I mean by build quality. Here's somewhere. Yeah, so the cradle is, again, it feels taco-ish, right? But it's practical. You literally clamp the watch in here. It's not going anywhere. You lock it in there, and then it's a USB-A port, and that way they don't need to waste money on magnets, and that brings down the cost of the watch. But it is functional, and once you charge it, again, you don't have to worry about charging it for at least a month or so, at least in my experience. But the design, From a distance, no one can say you are wearing a cheap watch. They can't tell. You just can't tell, except you're just a cheap guy like me, and then they'll double check you. But if you're decently dressed and you wear this watch with the right watch face, this will pass. This will do the job. So that's my general take. I recommend it if you're looking for a cheap smartwatch. It does work, okay? If you want more premium, something that works well in terms of functionality, heart rate monitoring, if you're in for the full fitness tracking, don't buy it because it'll fail you in some instances. But if you just want a smartwatch to get your messages every now and then, just for the fancy, then this is your go-to. Not much of a recommendation, but that's my word and I'm sticking with it. And that's that for the watch. Moving on to Tuba headphones, or the Freepods 2 as they're officially known. Okay, let's jump into the other part of the Oraimo accessories review. These are the Freepods 2, or as most people call them, Tuba earpods. Again, they're not Tuba earpods, he's the brand ambassador. It'd be great if you did own them though, no beef, but you just gotta pay to have a picture on this. We'll tell you how they sound last. Let me tell you how I feel about everything else. From the outside of the box, this box is well packaged. I mean, it looks better than some international packs. The presentation is just nice, right? It makes you feel like you're paying for something premium, and then you got the pod out and all the accessories, the house in the little box at the side, yada yada blah blah. I just think it makes sense, all right? I think so. The aesthetics of the case, yeah, looks familiar, I know, but hey, gotta look like something, I guess. But it's not wireless, doesn't have wireless charging, straight out the box. Just you gotta plug it in, and with a good old micro, USB micro, not USB-C, so it's still a bit dated in terms of that technology. When you open them, they do have, well, there's an indicator here that shows you how much power you have when you're charging it. But there are no indicators on inside to say there's anything there. And then in terms of design, they carry the original AirPods design, the really awful ones, I'm sorry. If I might add, I didn't like the original design. They stick out of here. Make it seem like the wire got chopped off. It's just hanging in there. I was never a fan of that, which is a minus for me in terms of the design, but they are comfortable, no doubt. So I'm thinking aesthetically here, but in terms of comfort, they are comfortable. Yeah. I was going to get to that. So while they're comfortable, not exactly secure, I managed to flip them out every now and then, but I guess it's just the design of my ear, because again, these designs don't come with ear tips. So if you're in the right position, they could fall out. If you're looking, so just in case you're trying to use them to work out, keep that in mind that if your ear canal is as wide as mine, chances are they will fall out if you're running or jogging. That's not gonna happen with me. I'm not running or jogging anywhere. I'm allergic to working out. So see, it says it's ready to pair right here. That's why it's flashing the way it is now. And when it does pair, you hear Two-Face's voice on the inside. It goes, what's that say? Connected. Like he's about to open a song. You know, let me bring it to a song. But it's Two-Face's voice. First time I heard it, really jarred me. I'm like, hey, Two-Face in the house. But no, it's a recording. And he says a lot of other things, so if you want to hear it, you're gonna have to buy these to go through the motions with him. In terms, I think that's it generally for build quality. When it comes to audio, yeah. So it has a 13mm driver, which delivers decent sound, especially in the mid-stage area for mids. But when you're playing highs and you go to deep, when you're having that has really strong bass, they start to shudder a bit and they can thin out very quickly if you're not careful. If you try to max out the volume, right? So it's not going to give you fantastic sound, nowhere near, but it will give you good sound. It's decent, right? You can hear it shrilling again at some of the highs, and you will lose a lot of the bass. They try to give you some fake deep bass, but it's okay. It's not Sony, it's not Samsung, but it's okay. About battery life, this thing will last 3.5 hours on a full charge, right? Not very long in comparison to the flagship versions out there, but the case does let you charge it 6 times over. So that's fairly decent if you're going on a long journey. I think that's more than enough. In terms of the ergonomics and comfort, like I said before, it affects the controls. So the case does tell you these things work independently, which is true to a limit, but to take volume up and down, you need them both because they control a different, so like for instance, to go up, you gotta tap 3 times on the right. To To go down, you gotta tap 3 times on the left. Skip tracks is like a tap and a half, and play and pause is double tap. So there's a tiny learning curve in there, and it's a little wonky that your volume controls on different ears with taps for that, no less, instead of holding it down, which are a bit more natural. But again, you get what you pay for. So in general, I think the case feels premium, even though it is cheap-ish. I'm not saying 10K, 13K is cheap, but if you just put it on the table alongside your other AirPods that you bought for way more, it'll stand the look test, the aesthetic test. I think it passes it very well. And the fact that he has two face on it, I think he's thought it through that this looks good enough to have my face on this brand. If you can live with the wonky controls, battery life, I think the price is worth it. I think it's a decent recommendation in my opinion. The bass driver is not great, but it'll give you decent sound. So yeah, it's a go for it. If you're not looking to spend too much money, definitely recommend it. And that's it. Let me know what your experience has been with the Oraimo or Oraimo, I don't know what the pronunciation is, in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.